It's crazy. It's another huge moment in the history of Cardano with important decisions being made. It just feels like each moment is faster than the other, but right now we are deciding the budget for Cardano. We are deciding what do we want to fund, what is our vision for Cardano, which projects are going to make Cardano better. That's what we are basically deciding right now, and in this video we'll give you all the information you need and show you how it's so important for you to contribute for this step of Cardano, this step in the future of Cardano. So here we have an article on the budget update, progress and next steps. But I think before diving into deep into that, before explaining you all the process related to the budget and what's going on, because it's already been on for a while, but now I finally got some time to make this video, to be honest with you. And I think it was a very important video to make because the Cardano budget, it's really important. We are deciding what are we going to finance for Cardano, right? What projects are important enough that they'll get funding to build on Cardano. And this defines basically what we'll see in the future of Cardano, because what we build today, it's what we're gonna have tomorrow in the next years, and we should search to build the things that are good enough to make the future of Cardano a huge success, I think. So I really feel it's important to target these decisions not only for core infrastructure like many are doing, or for just improving the technology in a theoretical level or in a practical level, but actually also think about adoption. What are the proposals here that will help Cardano being adopted? What do we have to show and to attract real world users? We cannot forget about that, and that's the way we are going to get adoption. If we have use cases, we have solutions for the real world that are good enough to make people use them just simply because they make their life better, that's how we can organically attract really a lot of people. And that's how we can succeed, because we become useful, because we attract economic value from the real world by solving problems better than other industries do. And that's what we need to do. And I don't think that we'll have companies coming and then learning everything about Cardano, creating a use case that's good for them. I think that's not super realistic. It's more realistic to have people building solutions that solve real world problems, and then companies coming as a consequence of that, because they want to get a problem solved, and they see these guys have a technology, they are experts, they understand this, we can work with them to build a solution for our problem. So I do see that probably as the way to go. Similarly to what happened in the internet, the first adopters in the internet were not existing companies, already companies from the real world having success and coming into the internet and having huge success. No, it was usually new companies and new ideas and new use cases that became very attractive and built and brought basically the companies, use cases like Google, right? Like Facebook, like YouTube, that brought in a lot of people and a lot of companies into making the internet where it is today is a huge success. Yeah, but I think I'm already getting into deep into my own beliefs and ideas. So let's focus and let's help you create your own ideas by checking and participating in this budget process. And it's really simple. So right now we have a stage where everyone can submit proposals into what they believe is good for Cardano. And the Dreps are going to go through these proposals. They can read in the Gov tool, as I'll show you. They can ask questions. There have been sessions for you to ask questions and learn more about each proposals. And we will now have reconciliation sessions. One is ongoing, I think, right now. We'll have another tomorrow and then one in the day after. So it's the 26th, 27th, and 28th of April. So it's really short notice, but hopefully you can still make it to some, or you've been participating. Even if you cannot make it into these reconciliation sessions, you can go into the Gov tool and vote. So you still have time. But yeah, let's show you the timelines. I think that's really important. So you have here the steps ahead, right? So through March and up to 24th of April, people could submit proposals. So basically right now at this stage, you have already the proposals all in the Gov tool for you to check. And then around March 21st, there'll be a dashboard with all the proposals. This already happens in GovTool. Then what matters here, besides the APIs and all of that, is that in late April and May, there will be reconciliation workshops where the proposals will be determined. They will talk about the proposals, the votes that have happened in the GovTool will be considered, and all of that will come into the proposals we believe are important for Cardano. These ones will be then submitted on chain, and they'll be voted for. And if approved on chain, basically these projects will get funding, treasury funding, to build what they have to do, what they've proposed, basically. So yeah, basically that will be the process. To see the proposals, you simply have to go to gov.tools, the Cardano governance place, and here you can see all the proposals. You have core here. You can filter proposals here as well if you need by their category. We have a space for core categories, core proposals, so to develop the core technology of Cardano, research, so new things to think about, governance support, how can we make governance better, marketing and innovation, and also no category, which are proposals that, for some reason they are different, they are more special, they're unique, or they don't really fit in well with any category. You can choose your categories and filter. There are a bunch of proposals, as you'll see, especially from the work of Dreps, and you can search here by any proposal you want here. So we do have a proposal, and we'll explain more about it. So you can, for example, search that proposal and it will show up in here, and you can see what it's all about, right? So when you click here, view details, you can see everything about these proposals. You can then read more and see everything that's going on with the proposal and everything that will be done here. So some proposals really have a lot of details. Then they usually have even links in the end, if they are complete. So you'll have a lot to see and to watch. So it's definitely not easy. For example, let's come here back into these. Let's see, here we have an intersect proposal as well. Besides being able to see everything, you can leave some comments here and ask questions to the proposers to get more enlightenment if you need. That's useful for everyone to read, as it will be public. And you can also see details, vote, for these proposals, as you can see here, either yes or no if you believe they need to be in the budget. However, to vote, you need to either be a direct voter, so registered in Cardano governance as a direct voter, or you need to be a DREP. Or if you're not of those, or if you're not participating in governance, well, you cannot vote. So please do participate in governance. You can see here at the top a great video of how you can participate in governance, choose a DREP, or become a direct voter yourself and be really part of these important decisions for the future and the success of Cardano. But if you're delegating, you just need to follow what your DREP is doing, what is their logic. You can give them some advice, contact them, and tell you what are the proposals you'd like to see approved. And if he's not aligned with your vision, then that's also a great way for you to see that probably you might need to choose a new DREP. But it's a simple process. If you're a DREP or a direct voter, you just connect wallet. After connecting, you'll have to sign, and then you'll be able to leave comments, and if you're a direct voter or a DREP, to vote. So yeah, of course, this can be a bit tricky to go through all these proposals, but fortunately we have Twitter and we have a lot of work from DREPs, and DREPs like, for example, Utah are doing an amazing work. He's going through so many proposals and just voting on all of them. Is also here, for example, putting posts about how the reconciliation workshops will work and what will be the process, and how each proposal is going to be discussed, and then they'll decide if these proposals are going to go into the budget to be voted online or on chain, But he's doing an amazing work. He's going through many of the proposals, as you can see here, leaving a lot of information and explaining his reasoning. There are other DREPs also doing great work. You have Phil, which is also going through several proposals and also proposing himself. You have Cardano Whale, who's gone through a lot of proposals and is more conservative with the budget and has voted in a few things. So you have a lot of people that deserve this. I think Yuta a shout out because he's putting a lot of hours into this and doing a great work. He's one of the also the Dreps. I think he's the Drep with the highest amount of delegation. But he's doing a lot of work and really, I think, rising to that occasion and to that responsibility of having so much delegation, I would say. And then here, for example, is also using GPT and AI to score, for example, proposals. And you can see here a list of how several proposals went. And it was nice to see our proposal as the fourth one there. So pretty cool that at least ChatGPT enjoys it. But to help you in this process, you also have other tools. You have Tempo here, and Tempo can show you the proposals, voting results, the temp shack. So you can go here more easily through the proposals. You also have some other great work developed by the community. For example, Al here, he basically developed his own, I would say, dashboard. And basically in this dashboard, you can see here the several different proposals. And although it's not super accurate, besides being able to see here, I think you have here, AI powered summary, which would be nice, but I've tried it and it's not amazingly accurate, to be honest with you. But so it would be ideal for you to go through the proposals if you can. You can also see what the proposals stand for and decide to go through them, right? As we mentioned, we would also love if you could go through our proposal and give us some feedback, of course, and maybe support it with your vote if you think it is important. This proposal is to create and launch a crypto inheritance and recovery DApp to solve the problem of recovering your crypto or leave it to your loved ones without any intermediaries, only for leveraging smart contracts and keeping total custody. But more than that, and the main reason why we put out this proposal is because we have a big focus on reaching new markets, right? We have Bitcoin, for example, Cardano becoming the DeFi layer for Bitcoin. I think that's a use case we could really take advantage of, and an opportunity we could really take advantage of, because we have a use case where we solve a big problem with Bitcoin, where around 20% of the supply, by the most conservative estimates of Chainalysis, has already been lost forever due to a lack of a way to recover seed phrase. So they really need a solution like this, and it's a simple to use one. It's just like using your wallet, but with some added inheritance functionalities. But above all, it's about the opportunity we have in the inheritance markets. With real world inheritance firms, we've approached them. They've done demos with us. They were impressed by the technology and open to testing it in a pilot. We just need to make a few improvements to have a tool that facilitates compliance within blockchain. So getting the information from the blockchain for the lawyers to play with and ensure compliance. But also with inheritance law, of course, but also a way to tokenize assets, right? So their idea is to use these for their normal operations, for their assets, because it would save them a lot of time and a lot of costs also, to use a solution like this one, where they could easily identify beneficiaries, do automated transmissions of assets, and save a lot of time. So that's a big opportunity for us. And with this budget proposal, with 1 year fully working on this, we could make it happen. And what I think it would bring for Cardano above all is a use case that brings real world firms, real world users that will help tokenize assets, as firms are incentivized to do that to improve their own processes. So we do solve big problems in the real world. In a niche market like inheritance is a market that moves trillions of dollars. 84 trillions of dollars are expected to be moved through the inheritance process in the next 30 years. So it's a lot. If we could just get a little part of that into Cardano, that would be amazing. So that's why we put it out. We believe this is a proposal that has a small investment, but could have really a big return for Cardano. If you want to learn more, we have here a small video for you to check it out about this proposal. But above all, don't focus just on our proposal. There are many quality proposals. I see the community is very focused on core and sometimes very conservative. But I would say please think really deep into that. It's important for us to develop core technology and develop many of these things, but we also need to approve proposals that will bring adoption. We also need to approve proposals that will bring a good return on investment, that will generate more transactions, more assets into the chain, and will simply get us into having more ADA into the treasury, or an appreciation in the price of ADA that will benefit all of us. And if we forget about the adoption part, that's a big risk. And we cannot forget Cardano here is competing with many other blockchains, and these blockchains are putting millions into their ecosystem, even billions in some cases, into their ecosystems, into growing their ecosystems, into supporting builders, use cases, and so much more. And we are competing with them. So we also need to invest into our blockchain. We also need to invest in not only making our technology better, but making the whole process of building on Cardano much more attractive to builders and firms, to real builders and firms. So we cannot forget about that, I would say. And if we don't think about return on investment, then it could be problematic in the long run, definitely, because there's no point on saving a lot of ADA in the treasury if the price of ADA is not appreciating properly. It's better to invest into something that can provide you with a return. Of course, any investment, as you know, has risks, and that is why it's so important for you to spend your time carefully considering what are the best investments, what will generate the most return, what is the risk reward return into each investment. That's super important. And I would say, even if you don't think the GenWealth proposal is good enough, please search for other proposals that could give you that return to Cardano, that could give that adoption to Cardano. I do think that's super important. On our site, we'll try to make more videos here about everything that's going on Cardano, governance as well. Maybe if we have a chance, the time is running out, but if we have a chance, maybe bring a video with some high quality proposals we would like to highlight. And if we don't have a chance, at least bring a video about the intersect elections, which are also extremely important. And if you're motivated to go through this process to help Cardano, to help us get the adoption and success we deserve, because this chain stands for great values and for making the world better. So definitely, I would like to see it adopted, and I hope you do too. And if you're inspired, I'll leave you the video with the GenWealth proposal for you to check it out, a simple presentation of what we are doing. And hopefully that will be a great way for you to be inspired and to start reviewing some of these proposals. I'll see you there.